All right, today we're heading out to the Mossy Cave. We're on the Mossy Cave Trail in Bryce Canyon National Park. This is supposed to be a short walk, and apparently Mossy Cave is not a cave, but we're gonna go find out exactly what it is. And this is gonna be a lot shorter walk than we had yesterday. I think this is half mile as opposed to yesterday's 8 miles. So that's gonna work out. So when we were at Bryce Canyon National Park, we drove by this one part of the road a few times where we kept seeing cars parked in this parking lot, and it looked to be a pretty popular spot. So we decided one morning we're gonna go check out what this place is, and the place was called the Mossy Cave.
We never planned to go to these areas that we're going to be talking about. It was something we came upon, which is one of the great things about taking these adventures, is that you can drive by something and say, I really want to go see that, and stop and see it. There's so much to do in this area that's outside of the parks that it's endless. There's so much to do. So we stopped at Mossy Cave, not knowing at all what it was, and there was a trailhead. We had no idea how long this trail was going to be. We had no idea. I think we had a little bit of a sense that it was not a hard hike, pretty sure you looked something up before that said it was, not a hard hike to take. So we stopped. We went kind of early because we wanted to get there before most of the parking was gone. There's not a lot of parking, and people were stopping throughout the day. So it looked like a few times when we went by, it could have been difficult to find some parking.
But everybody else seemed to be going to this place, so we said, hey, we should go check it out too. So on the road that goes from Bryce Canyon National Park to the town of Tropic, there's a pullout between mile markers 17 and 18 on this road, and that's where you find the parking lot. And I would imagine anytime you're probably driving down this road that people would run into the experience that we had, where there's going to be cars there, and it's a popular site. So among the things that I guess are helpful to know about, Mossy Cave is physically located outside of Bryce Canyon National Park in terms of you don't have to show your park pass to get here. You don't have to pay to get here. It's right off the road. So if you can get your car into the parking lot, it is absolutely free. And so free attractions are always interesting to us. So we decided to check it out. The trail from the parking lot to Mossy Cave, it's pretty short, but as you take the trail, you're going to actually get rewarded by 2 sites in the area. One is what we'll talk about, which will be Mossy Cave itself, and then there's a waterfall that we'll talk about as well too. The trail, I think as you mentioned, it's fairly short. The sign that's in the area says it's 0.4 miles to the cave, so it's just under a mile round trip. A fairly easy walk, very modest inclines, if any. And this was one that we did that I think just about anybody could do this hike. So it's a nice little thing to do in the area.
Yeah, and this trail is also maintained by the Park Service. So they seem to maintain it very well. There's no fear of having young children there. I saw people with strollers. It is a dirt path, so you would have to bring an appropriate stroller, but I saw older people there. It was just a very comfortable walk for us, and it looked like for many others.
Yep.
So as we were walking, we came upon a stream not too far into the hike. It was a moderate to slow-moving stream. The waters were interesting. I think the soil that it was picking up along the way was coloring the water this kind of a milky white. And it was a place that you could stop and get refreshed, because there's a little beach area that you can go down into, walk into, that's right next to the stream. And you can just relax there and play in the water, or have your kids play in the water, or look for rocks.
I was just going to say, as we know some people like to do.
Yeah, some people like to do that. So it was really, really nice. We stopped at the beach area after we took the hike.
Yeah.
So that was really refreshing.
I think if somebody wanted to do that, this would probably also be a place where if you walked into the area with a towel to sit on or a small beachy kind of chair, you could just spend even some time on that little beachy area, just enjoy
have a nice
looking
day.
up.
Bring an umbrella for the sun, and you could have a really nice day.
Yeah, and when you're down at that part, so before you even get to the Mossy Cave itself, you look up and you have, I think they're actual hoodoos or those types of structures. So there's those rock formations when you look
There was
up.
walls and windows.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about hoodoos.
Yeah, but whatever they are.
But it was gorgeous.
Yeah, bring your camera, neat things to see.
So as you're walking past the stream, you're going to go over a little bridge over the stream and go up. The trail starts to incline a little bit, and you have a choice of which direction you want to go in. So the trail splits off. You go to the right, and you're going to go up more of an incline. Very short walk, very quick, and you get to this area called Mossy Cave.
All right, and we've arrived at Mossy Cave. So just a real quick walk up a short path, and here's where you get to. So when we were approaching it, and like to your
We
point,
didn't know what to expect.
Yeah. So what did you have anything in mind of what you thought we were going to see?
I thought cave. I'm thinking cave.
Yeah.
And somehow we were going to walk into something that was more cave-like. But it is really not a cave that you walk into. It is something that has, over time, it has been shaped by water that's been leaking through the rock down into the stream below. And apparently there's a spring there that, as it comes through the rock, it causes moss and algae and other things that grow when there's not a lot of light in the area. You can see this hanging off the top of the cave.
You see the moss? See the moss? I don't know if it's coming out quite so well in the video, but right in the center of the screen is a little bit of moss.
Yeah, and there's water trickling down from the top of the cave, the roof of the cave. The whole thing has water just dripping. And not a cave, but what would you call it? A grotto.
It's a grotto.
A grotto, yeah.
I guess technically speaking.
Yeah.
The sign in front of the Mossy Cave / grotto also talked about that because of the way it's positioned, it doesn't get, I don't know if it gets any direct sunlight, and because of that,
I don't think it does.
As the water forms in the colder months through the winter and even all the way up through June in some years, you get icicles that form in this area.
Yeah, and apparently that is something that happens infrequently, but it does happen.
Yeah. So this is actually a grotto that forms as an underground spring that goes through the bedrock, and water slowly comes through the calcite that bonds the silts and muds of the formation here. And the environment is the perfect place for mosses to grow, and we do have some mosses here for sure. So that was the walk to the Mossy Cave, but we were a little bit surprised too because you also mentioned that as you're walking to the cave, the path goes one way to get you to Mossy Cave, and when you go the other way, you get to a waterfall. So our next thing we're going to see here at Mossy Cave site is the waterfall. So there's a fork in the road on the hike. We went one way to see Mossy Cave. Now we're going back to the fork, taking the other direction to see some views of this waterfall. Now we learned that this waterfall is not a natural waterfall either. It was actually created by the pioneers back in the day when they dug a 10-mile canal to bring water to Bryce Valley. And as part of that process, this waterfall was formed. And today you can come to this area, take a look at the waterfall either from a distance, or you can do what we did and we walked all the way up to just about the base of the waterfall. Which
was a little more difficult. I saw many people from all sectors of society walking over there. Some people that had any kind of disabilities would find it difficult because there's some drops that you literally have to climb down.
Yeah, and it's a little more rocky, probably more unsteady, and I would imagine that depending on the time of the year, I don't know if the water level changes, so that might also make it a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, as the snow melts, I'm sure there's more.
But when we were there, it was fairly easy for us to make our way over there. So we walked right under the waterfall, got some neat photographs there, some videos as well. And that was a kind of nice experience to be right at the base of these falls. A little unexpected extra feature that we did not know we were going to see.
Very enjoyable, too. Very enjoyable. An easy hike, a good option for people of all ages. You can see some beautiful walls or windows that have been formed over time, and you see them up close, which is really nice too.
One of the things we notice is the color of the water coming through the waterfall. It's got this peculiar grayish green color. We're thinking it's picking up color from the somewhere up above the rocks that it's flowing through. It was interesting because there's a stream just adjacent to this where the water is crystal clear.
I think it's a spring.
Yeah, so you got a spring one way that's
Feeding into the river.
Feeds the river, crystal clear, and then this water is picking up all kinds of minerals probably as it makes its descent down this way to the waterfall. So this stop lasted about an hour for us, so it's a nice little excursion that you don't have to devote a lot of time to. And again, if you're in the area of Bryce Canyon National Park, and if you know that you're going to have an hour or two to spare, this is going to be one of those places about 10 minutes, I think, away from the park entrance. That's a nice little addition when you're in the area of Bryce Canyon National Park. Thanks for watching this video. We hope you've seen some things that'll help you plan your future travel adventures.
And if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and like us. And if you have any comments, we'd love to hear from you.
And until next time, keep on traveling, and we hope to see you at the places where we go.